Well, in this game, it's like the only time you get to change is for
This
disguises.
was the room assigned to Wako-san.
Or at least this game.
What's down there?
That's the research wing, where they develop all our new drugs.
Oh.
You can't get in without a gold key card, though. Not even I have one.
Gold, huh?
I suppose because it's the heart of the center's operations.
Huh. Sounds like it's a whole nother world back there. Security like that must be a bitch. Come on, Yagami.
I don't know, I'm like,
Before he died,
I'm always the weird one that
Wako-san
likes to
spent most
change
of his
outfits
time in
every once
here.
in a while.
And when was he admitted?
2 years ago. With Alzheimer's.
Some kind of dementia, right?
Alzheimer's is a neurodegenerative disease that leads to dementia, yes. In fact, it's the cause of almost 70% of all dementia cases.
So, they're one and the same, kinda? Anyway, do what you gotta do, Yagami.
Uh-huh.
I just say, is there a cat? Gotta be outside.
What the?
Oh, look, a cat.
Has anyone else slept here since Wako-san's death?
Nobody, no.
And Wako-san was missing from his room the morning of the incident, yes?
That's right.
So he was murdered here, then carried out.
I can't say for sure, but it's likely.
Working on that assumption, how was the body carried outside? I should take a little closer look.
Suspicious. The window seal.
Oh, what the hell? I didn't even hit X. I just focused on it and it went. Usually I gotta hit X to confirm. It didn't even do anything.
Hey, all the rooms have windows like this, right? Seems like people would notice if something was going on in here.
Well, we only have so many employees in this ward.
You
The halls
bitch.
stay fairly busy, but it's mostly dementia patients moving between appointments.
I see. I wonder how the room looks from the hallway.
You got all you need from here, yeah?
I guess
I
so.
think so.
Then they start fucking.
You can definitely see what's going on from out here. Shintani-sensei, can you lay on the bed for me?
I guess so. Care to join me, Terasawa-san?
Every time,
You got
Shintani.
to lose. It was a joke.
So from this vantage point, you can't make out the person's face.
He's dead.
So, was this the colossal waste of time I knew it'd be?
Nope. I got something I'd only get from being here.
Does it matter? It's been days. Case is practically closed. Shinpei Okubo is guilty as hell.
Well, according to him, he's not.
Well, of course that's what he says. Consider the facts, though, man. You want to review the case?
Sure. Let's go over what we know so far.
Whatever you want.
Alright. Like I just said, quit.
All right, here we go. Our victim was the patient staying in this room. Koichi Waku, male, age 66. At 8:30 a.m. on the morning of the crime, the nurses noticed he was missing from his bed. Given Waku's degenerative state, they assumed he was wandering around the hospital somewhere. But after being unable to track him down, Hospital staff filed a missing persons report.
Right.
You know what a dementia patient's like, though. Hard to imagine they'd make it outside on their own. The only conclusion then was that somebody must have taken him out of the hospital. After inspecting all the cars that came in and out of the center, they were left with one possible suspect. A laundryman by the name of Shinpei Okubo. It didn't take much prodding for Okubo to confess burying Waku's body out in the mountains. And lo and behold, 3 months after Waku disappeared, the cops found his body rotting away right where Okubo said it'd be. Cause of death was most likely suffocation, but they still don't know for sure. Any objections to this so far, Yagami-sensei?
Actually, yeah. You're forgetting something.
And what's that?
Okubo-kun insists he didn't kill anyone. All he admits to is dumping the body.
You can't say for sure that the guy who dumped the body actually committed the murder. If I budge on that, I'd be admitting Okubo-kun did it before the trial even started.
Oh, sure. But come on, Yagami. Guy's got a history of assault, and it's on record. Roughed up his girlfriend, accidentally broke her finger.
Right, but that was over 6 years ago. He was just a kid. Got drunk, made a huge mistake.
And what? It's okay for a kid to hit a woman?
Of course not. But that's not what he's on trial for.
True.
I don't condone what he did. But legally, committing one crime doesn't mean you're guilty of another.
Fine. But what about Okubo's shaky alibi? He said he left the center at 10 a.m. after grabbing the sheets from the general ward. Claimed Waku-san's corpse somehow got loaded into his truck. Who's gonna believe garbage like that?
If anyone should, it's his lawyers.
We're meeting with Okubo after this, right? You should just be honest with him. Tell him the case is unwinnable.
As she's stuck sitting here
Are
watching.
you two done here?
Yep. Can you show us the garage next? The one where Okubo-kun parked his truck. The service entrance, I think it was. That's the only other place we'll need to see today.
Bum bum.
We'll need to take an elevator down there. Follow me.
Ladies just, you know, I'd be like thrilled because I'm like, well, I get to just stand around. I get. Fuck. I thought he just yelled, follow me. It's like, I don't have to do anything today. I get to just sit and get paid. I'm gonna lead two of these guys arguing over what the fuck, over a murder. Come on, keep it professional. As we're walking, a bunch of enemies just spawn. We have to fight. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Hey, Yagami. You're never gonna last if you keep taking cases like this. Criminal suits are a constant test of your conviction. Your sense of justice.
She's seeing someone by
You don't
this
even
point.
pay that well.
Careful who you say that around.
Look, just chill out, okay? Take it from me. I've been around the block way longer than you have.
Telling me 3 years earlier she was seeing someone? What about 3 years now? It's like,
Looks like a regular old garage to me.
You'd make it out with no problem if you put a body into your truck down here. It's quiet.
It is.
Hey, Yagami, check this out.
it is.
These are the carts they use to collect sheets and linens. Day of the crime, Okubo was all over the hospital with one of these things. Would have been simple for him to sneak a body in there and cart it right out.
Maybe so.
He's trying to bet a
Where was
woman
Okubo parked
in a
on the day of
relationship,
the
not a
incident?
surprise.
Oh,
Shitani. Or if he got the woman later. 3 years from now.
The truck was parked here, with the back facing the elevator. Here's a recreation of it.
I see.
Just him in a Speedo. It's like,
DNA
oh, wrong photo.
evidence from the victim was found in the flatbed of the truck. That's proof enough that the body was there. And when they confronted Okubo, he flat out admitted it.
There was evidence that the body was in Okubo's truck. When was Waku-san last seen?
Just before 8 a.m. on the day of the crime.
Yeah, 7:50 to be precise. An ADDC scientist will be testifying to that. He claims he saw him nice and cozy in his bed.
I see. Can we talk to this witness?
I tried to get an appointment, but they shut me down. Said they don't want us interfering.
Well, how
with
could you
their
see it when you're
research
laying in
anymore.
bed and you couldn't see his
You're
face?
not willing to make an exception this once?
This isn't an issue you want to push, Yagami. Worst case scenario, you get charged with witness intimidation.
All right. Anyway, the victim was last seen at 7:50.
That's right. Breakfast is at 8 o'clock,
I want
so the
breakfast.
patients who can walk on their own gather in
DK
the
never
break room.
gives me breakfast.
But on the day of his disappearance, 8:30 came and went with no sign of Waku-san.
You thought you'd find him quickly. Didn't exactly turn out that way.
Right.
Got that, Yagami? Here, let's go over some more details.
You're running with the he is guilty of A because he denied, B yet confessed to, C and D. Pretty much. Sure, let's hear what the great Shitani Sensei has to say.
All we know is, Waku was taken out of his room sometime between 7:50 when he was last seen,
It's
and
the mole.
8:30 when everyone noticed he was gone.
Every time. No.
During that 40-minute span, somebody
Oh,
suffocated
Jesus.
Waku and stuffed him into the laundry bin. Nobody suspected there was a body in the cart. And the only clear culprit was Okubo, the man in charge of the laundry. To further back this up, DNA evidence from Waku was found in Okubo's truck. Then when the police questioned Okubo, he confessed to burying the body in the mountains of Okutama. 3 months after the crime, Waku's corpse was finally found. With me? This thing's airtight, Yagami. I know you're getting into this, but come on. Just give it up already. You don't have a chance.
Even though Okubo says he's innocent, I promised him we'd do everything we could.
Not my problem. You shouldn't make promises you can't
I didn't
keep.
promise we'd win. I just
Fine,
promised
then
we'd
I'll
do
it
what we can.
alone. You don't have to be involved.
Even if I'm not, the loss will hurt Genda-sensei's reputation.
I'm sorry, but our client says he's innocent. I can't back down from this.
Fine. I'll be in the lobby.
If you like, I could take you to see Waku-san's room again.
You don't mind? That would be great.
He's into me. I'm in. It's like, again, taken. Makes no sense. He had no motive, no location of the victim. Yeah, all he admitted to was burying a body. Doesn't mean he killed him. I feel like I'm playing like Phoenix Wright sometimes, just with a lot more crazy shit, and I never even fully played Phoenix Wright. I only started to and then stopped. Here I am again. Don't really see anything out of the ordinary, though. Problem is, now I can't continue playing that game until I get a fucking Wii, or a Switch again. I mean, not a Wii. They have that.
Waku-san was here until the morning of the incident. Then he just up and disappeared.
No one could see the face of the victim that was laying in the bed. Just like the witness says he saw him all cozy in his room.
Windows sealed shut. There's no way Waku-san could have escaped through here.
Even if he did, he fell.
I wonder how well you can see in here from the hallway.
Already went over that.
Are you finished?
Not yet.
A little longer. And I think I pretty much got everything. Can't see very well through the hallway. He couldn't go out the window. See just about everything here, but this was in the way. Cannot see the face.
Yeah, I've seen what I need. Anything else you can share?
How long will Okubo-san's sentence be?
Huh?
If he's found guilty, that is.
Probably 10 years, maybe more. It's hard to say for sure.
And what if he confesses? Would they shorten his sentence?
Well, at the very least, it'd make a better impression than insisting he didn't do it.
But you're still going to push an innocent plea? Even though Okubo-san is the one who'll suffer for it?
If he's really not guilty, he won't have to. I'll win. But to be perfectly honest, this is my first criminal case.
What?
Civil cases have been a mixed bag for me, too. I've actually lost more than I've won.
Is that so?
Apparently, a smart lawyer would never even consider an innocent plea in this case. Guess it's a good thing that I'm not so smart then, because I honestly believe I can win. Terasawa-san, were you close to Okubo-kun?
I spoke to him pretty often, yes. I would see him around the ward all the time.
And what did you think of him? Did he seem like the kind of guy who'd do something like this?
The problem with
I'm
that
sorry.
question is...
The director told us not to say too much.
Question with that is that the,
Wait!
everyone would probably say I would in real life because I'm so quiet.
If you know anything that can help,
creepy, I guess.
just get in touch, okay? I'll do whatever it takes to set Okubo-kun free. But I can't do it alone. Just give it some thought, Terasawa-san.
And a lot of people be like, does he seem like the type that would do it? And he's like, well, he is quiet to himself.
Just now, we went to the ADDC. Thought I should have a look at things with my own eyes.
And how did it go?
There's no chance you walk. You're practically a lost cause.
Hey,
Yagami-sensei, is that what you think?
it's like this, Okubo. You tell me you're innocent, and I'll fight to the end. I really have nothing to lose by helping you out.
It's just like I told you.
Except for some people.
Whoever did it is framing me.
And there's this guy. Fuck this guy. Here's your client you're going to be defending. Fuck this guy. It's like, wow, what a great
On the day
introduction.
of crime, you were in the general ward at the ADDC, yes? Starting at 8 a.m., you went around to each room and gathered the linens.
Yes. Nobody would dispute that.
And after that, you covered Waku-san's nose and mouth, suffocated him, and then carted him out in the laundry bin.
That's not true. Waku-san wasn't there when I went into his room. I didn't see him at all that day. You have to believe me.
And I do. So when you went down to leave the center at 10 a.m. after gathering the linens, you realized there was a body hidden in the truck.
Yes. That's what happened.
Then, after debating whether or not to report the body, you chose to hide it in the mountains.
Instead of just reporting the body. Gonna be a huge hurdle climb in the trial.
I had a criminal assault on my record. I knew the police would have suspected me if I went to them.
Aren't you forgetting the bad blood you had with Waku-san?
Huh?
Bad blood? What are you talking about?
3 days before the murder, Waku-san claimed Okubo-kun here punched him and stole his wallet. They told me all about it at the center.
When did you even ask?
While you were busy chatting up Terasawa-chan. Even if I bitch about it, I'm still damn good at my job.
Well, Okubo-kun, did you take his wallet, or...?
Not quite. They call it Delusion of Theft. It's a symptom of dementia. You think something's been stolen from you, then blame the first person you see. Not the easiest thing to deal with, right? Someone accuses you of theft for no reason? Must have been a shock.
Use DK of
So
a
when
rule
Wakusan
breaker.
tried to hit you, you just about hit him back.
But I didn't hit him.
No, you murdered him.
I wouldn't kill a man over something like that.
Ah, I wish I could believe you, pal. Come on, Okubo-kun. You got a record of violence.
That's how lawyers
It
are.
wasn't me. I swear. Somebody set me up. Please, you have to believe me. Whoever did this is laughing at all of us right now.
Calm down.
Get your shit
Yagami
together.
Sensei. Do you believe me?
I do.
Okay. Then next time, come alone.
Fine, I can take a hint. You and Yagami-sensei can cuddle up all you want.
Hey, you know that nurse, Terasawa-san? Cute girl. It sounded like she was worried about you. Bet you'd have a chance with her once you get out
Oh
of here.
boy.
I don't know. If you'll excuse me.
Don't do it. All of this because we're at a center right now. Meanwhile, our character's just kind of blankly staring. I'd like to think it's not happening, but I like to think he's just been staring, mouth open, just in his flashback mind.
So Shintani just
Hey,
left
you haven't
hanging,
changed.
huh? He's got to learn some damn patience.
Maybe so. But this is my case now. I can handle it myself.
Okay.
I have a map.
Yagami-san.
Hmm?
Have you seen Mafia lately?
Where's this coming from?
She's just not that great with men. I suggest you be more assertive.
Right. Okay.
You mean that friend of yours, Saori-kun? She's got Shintani all riled up. Said he'd have been nicer to you if he knew you had friends who looked like her. Jackass.
Hey, nothing's official yet, guys. Regardless, keep it on the down low, okay?
Yet? That word says more than you think.
Yet. Go outside. I can't.
I'll keep my lips sealed.
The hell am I running for? Start running. I don't need it. In 3 years, I get a 19 to 20-year-old's girlfriend
Mafia
anywhere.
goons are
Anyway, that's a
prosecutor.
singer.
Isn't it kind of taboo for her to date a defense attorney?
Can we not do this?
Either way, guess the Okubo case comes first. We're pleading innocent, yeah?
That's the plan.
What is your plan here? This isn't gonna be an easy win.
Well, I'm working on that. There's one piece of evidence that still bothers me.
Yeah? And what's that?
What should I focus on if I want to prove these Okubo's innocent?
Take a look at this. It's the hospital room the victim was staying in. This is the last place Waku-san was seen before he disappeared. At the time, the witness would have seen Waku-san from this angle through the window in the door. But the cabinet here would have been blocking his face.
Uh-huh.
In other words, there's room to argue that the witness never actually saw Waku-san to begin with. It might have just looked like there was somebody in there. Or maybe the killer set it up to look that way.
And how would that impact the trial?
I don't know.
Well,
Can you
the
just be
premise
proud
that
of
the
me?
victim was still alive at 8 o'clock would no longer be on the table. Meaning, the crime could have occurred during a much wider time range. With that in mind, we could claim there's no proof that Okubo took Wakusan out of the room.
Right. Not bad.
What the hell's your problem?
Was that Shintani?
Yeah.
I think so.
So I'm trying.
Back here.
The hell?
That bastard. Oh, was eavesdropping on you.
What the hell?
I tried to stop him, but
I'm like,
he pulled a stun gun on me.
Hey! Wait up!
almost looks like a lady.
You won't get away!
I just like the idea that you hear Shitani in the other room. No, it's not clear. That's just a very thin man. Come on. It's just a smaller, thinner man. That's it. People could be any body type they want to be nowadays.
You won't get away!
I just like the idea of Shitani's like, who the fuck are you? Get out of here. You wouldn't like it if I stabbed you both your eyes with an ice pick. Where it's like, that's oddly specific, Shitani. Imagine seeing your lawyer doing this. It's just Kaido-san. He just looked different 3 years ago when he was with the Yakuza.
A woman?
Help! Someone help me!
Aren't you Terasawa-san?
Let me go!
We got a groper out here? Scum of the earth!
I can't fight in a suit. Alright.
Not on my watch, you son of a bitch!
Well, yeah, this goes. I'm much weaker than I want to be. I don't like it. Again, see your lawyer just doing this. I don't have any of my abilities. My combos are so much slower than I'm used to. I'm your lawyer! You're not my lawyer. That lawyer just kicked their ass?
Can all lawyers fight like that?
Oh, now you want to talk. I had to kick like 8 people's asses just for you to want to talk to me, huh? Guess that's the other way to impress ladies. I'll be back. Go down the street and just be like, who wants to fucking fight?
Did you really need to run away like that? I assume you came to see me.
There was something I wanted to talk to you about, yes.
Weird, but okay.
I wasn't sure if I should. Then that pig-headed friend of yours started shouting, so I just lost it.
Okay, but did you have to tase him? Not that he didn't have it coming. Anyway, I'm listening if you want to talk.
If not, I'm
No
just
matter
gonna
what it is, I'll
chug
keep your
my
secret.
alcohol.
Anything you tell me will fall under client attorney privilege.
Well, you know the witness who last saw Waku-san? Said he saw him sleeping in his bed.
Uh-huh.
Well, that witness is a man by the name of Shonosan. He's one of the scientists at the ADDC. Not only that, but he's the director's right-hand man, too.
And this is him?
Ah, the sad guy. Pretty much your run-of-the-mill researcher.
Yes. He's a very dedicated doctor, so the nurses have a lot of faith in him. But something felt off when I heard what he had to say about the incident.
And what's that?
I guess I'm just skeptical as to whether or not he actually saw Waku-san. I don't think he's intentionally deceiving us, but he may be mistaken somehow. And if I had to guess, I'd say the other nurses feel the same.
Still, why hasn't anyone mentioned this until now?
How could we? Nurses talking about a doctor behind his back? That's not something a nurse could do without consequences. And if it came to a courtroom testimony...
None of you would testify?
Maybe the other nurses wouldn't, but I would. I never really fit in over there anyway. Besides...
Yeah?
I think Okubo-san is innocent.
Oh, really?
I'm so sorry.
Sounds like I've finally got an ally on my team.
This Last of Us Part 2, this is how you involve characters that you throw into a game and give them a story. Anyway, back to the game.
I'm currently employed as a researcher at the Advanced Drug Development Center. Part of our research consists of clinical tests we perform on patients in the general ward of the center. On the day of the crime, I was making my usual rounds through the ward.
It's him. Yoji.
And what time was that?
Around 7:50?
You're sure?
Yes, the patients eat breakfast at precisely 8 o'clock. I always head to the break room myself, right around then, too.
This break room, to be precise?
That's correct. Our more mobile patients walk there for breakfast instead of eating in their
Still
own
want
rooms.
breakfast.
Then, while the nurses help the patients eat, I ask about how they feel and how the medicine is treating them.
And on the day of Waku-san's disappearance, you passed by his room before going to the break room?
Yes,
And in that room, you saw Waku-san lying on the bed?
yes.
Can you describe the situation to us as you remember it?
The door has a window, so you can see into the room from the hallway.
And this is the room you're referring to, yes?
That's correct. From where I was standing in the hallway, I could see Waku-san lying in bed. He was asleep, with a blanket covering most of his body.
And what time was that?
Around 7:50.
No further questions.
Yagami-sensei, why did you call her to the stand?
She actually asked to testify. Is that a problem?
Not really, no.
We can hear you. Here's my chance for a comeback.
Terasawa-san, you were present for Shono-san's testimony just now, yes?
Yes.
And what is your opinion on that testimony?
For a scientist, I felt his wording was rather imprecise. And as a medical professional, I felt his actions were negligent.
Could I ask you to be a little more specific?
Our witness, Shono-san, claims he saw Waku-san sleeping in his bed during his morning rounds. However, there's no way he could have known that just by looking in from the hallway.
I have evidence supporting Terasawa-san's testimony.
Didn't have been able to see Waku. I have evidence to prove that. It's this guy's face. It's him! The autopsy!
Please look at this. It's a photograph of the victim's room as viewed from the hallway. In other words, this is what Shonosan would have seen when he checked in on Wakusan.
And this evidence points to the fact. Victim was already dead, and his testimony was a lie. The culprit was hiding in a hospital room. The culprit is Shono, who claims to be a witness. I'm gonna assume that it's a lie, right? Because that it doesn't mean the victim was dead. It just means that he lied. He didn't know it was him, right? I think. It turns out the culprit was hiding in the hospital room all along. Go with a lie, because I don't think the victim was already dead. I mean, he could have been, but I think we're just trying to prove that he didn't see the body there. Or
Shonosan was lying when he said he saw Wakusan in the bed.
Excuse me?
What he saw from the door was likely nothing more than a bulge of sheets. He couldn't have been able to identify it specifically as Wakusan. So to claim as much in his testimony seems like quite an exaggeration, don't you think?
But common sense would dictate otherwise, would it not? Who would be in the bed other than Wakusan?
The staff nurses are trained to always enter a room when checking in on a patient. In Wakusan's case, it's impossible to tell anything just by looking in from the hallway. There was actually one time a while back where we thought he was under the covers, only to find Wakusan eating in the break room a second later. And upon re-examining the room, we realized that we had mistaken a bunched up
I like
pillow
her.
for
I hope she
Wakusan.
lives.
The witness makes an important distinction. The prosecution asserts that Shonosan's testimony is clear, that the victim was taken out of his room at some point between 7:50 and 8:30 in the morning. They claim that because of this time frame, the defendant must have smuggled Wakusan's body out in his laundry bin.
That's why Okubakan was assumed to be the only person who could have killed him.
But if Shonosan's testimony is invalid, as the defense asserts, we have to consider the possibility that Wakusan was taken in the middle of the night when nobody else was around. After which, the killer could have waited until the morning to plant the body in the defendant's truck. In other words, the defense establishes that there is reasonable doubt that Okubo-san is the killer, rendering the prosecution's central argument unsound. Your Honor, taking this new testimony into account, I'd like to call Shono-san back to the stand for cross-examination.
God, it's Phoenix Wright all over again.
Shono-san.
Yes?
Let's see how he responds with the evidence and her testimony now out in the open.
I'll get right to the point.
How many fingers am I holding up?
What did you see when you looked into Waku-san's room?
I saw Waku-san asleep in his bed, I think.
And did you get a clear look at his face?
I don't remember.
Suddenly he's slowing
so it's
down.
Possible that it could have been someone other than Waku-san in that bed. Or maybe even a pillow that you mistook to be Waku-san's body. Isn't that right?
Objection! The defense is leading the witness.
Sustained. Please rephrase the question.
Shono-san, can you say without a doubt that Waku-san was in that bed when you checked on him?
I don't think I can, no.
He's like, fuck.
Then the defense rests. But I do have a quick remark for the prosecution.
Huh?
Prosecution argument is falling apart. Now to go in for the kill.
The charges against my client stem from your assertion that he's the only possible suspect, assuming the crime took place within the stated time frame. However, the defense has proven without a doubt that Shono-san's testimony is unreliable, establishing reasonable doubt for my client. I would suggest then that you withdraw the charges against my client. With such inconclusive evidence, you'll only be wasting the court's precious time.
The prosecution does not consider the witness's testimony inconclusive. His memory of the incident may be fuzzy, yes, but that doesn't change that he saw the victim.
Didn't see anything.
So, your whole case is based on a fuzzy memory? This promising young man's future is at stake, and you're willing to throw that away on unreliable testimony?
Dr. Shono is a bright and diligent researcher. After watching his own grandmother develop dementia, he vowed to create a drug that could cure the disease. After paying his own way through medical school, he went on to become the head researcher at the ADDC. Day after day, Dr. Shono visits his sick patients out of the kindness of his heart, leading to his valiant testimony here today. If you want to know whether I trust this man, then my answer is a resounding yes.
In other words, because he's such a great researcher, his testimony is infallible. His own admission that he's not sure is somehow overlooked? Is that the sum of it? Because from here, it sounds like you're putting your faith in Shono-san's title, not his testimony today.
The prosecution is not as easily swayed as you think. And you want to talk reputation? What of your client's history of domestic abuse?
Uh-oh, he's gonna bring up the record.
6 years ago, the defendant broke his girlfriend's finger. The poor girl is still suffering from the effects. And the cause? A minor, drunken disagreement. Now, fast forward to what occurred a few days prior to the crime.
So much info for him.
Waku-san, suspecting the defendant of stealing his wallet, lashed out and punched the defendant in the face. Given the clearly violent nature of Okubo-san here, that alone would be motivation enough to murder the poor old...
That's powering up.
Is something wrong, ma'am? Please remain seated while court is in session. Terasawa-san?
Okubo-san is not a violent person. And he hasn't even had a drink in over 6 years. Not a single drop since the incident.
My court will not stand for this commotion.
He didn't blame Waku-san at all. He knew that the outburst was just caused by his dementia, that it was all the sickness's fault. So there was no reason for him to resort to murder.
Terasawa-san, please.
Okubo-san really is an incredible, caring person.
Please leave this courtroom at once.
Get out of my face.
You're right that he may be hard to approach, but he's a kind soul, and he always keeps his promises. Okubo-san's not the only person in this courtroom who would be affected by a guilty verdict, either. As a matter of fact, it would break my heart. And even through it all, he wanted me to keep this a secret, not to tell anyone, not even his lawyer, that we were dating. Even though he knew he could have ended up in prison, making sure I was safe was the only thing in the world he cared about. That's just who he is. But when the prosecution has already decided he's a criminal, how could he possibly be given a fair trial?
Her little outburst wasn't technically admissible, but as the trial dragged on, it hung over the jury like a stone. And in the end, Shinpei Okubo was found not guilty. But only a month after his release, everything changed.
So you're telling me she doesn't live?
The same girl who had
God
so
damn it.
bravely proclaimed Okubo's innocence died by the man's own hand.
I mean, I'm glad that they showed that for the, like, because it's like the beginning showed that he killed a girl, and I was like, who the hell's the girl? Like, I feel like we know nothing about her, but I'm glad that they went through all of that so we could see who this girl was and how much it actually meant for that character. Anyway, back to this.
Hi.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing, Vice Minister.
Hi.
But
I haven't seen you in about 3 years, Kido-san. I see you're still the director.
You look familiar, but I can't quite place the name.
I seem to recall you looking sharper.
I'm a detective based in Kamurocho now. The name's Yagami.
Ah, I remember now. You're the reason Terasawa-kun's no longer with us.
Exactly.
Remember, Shono?
Okubo-san was unstoppable. If only my testimony had been better.
Shonosan, right?
Does it matter? What brings you here anyway?
I'm investigating a murder, and I'll need your cooperation with it. Just like old times.
Because we're friends. Oof. Dude, shit's getting intense.
Yes, I see.
Would you like to call bullshit?
Thank you.
That's your department. You're the one who calls
It
bullshit.
does seem we received a phone call from this Shintani-san you speak of.
Do you know who he was calling?
Dr. Shono.
The same Shono-san you were just with?
Why would Shitani call him?
Yes. However, it's unclear as to what the point of the call was meant to be. Shono was away from his desk at the time, you see, and Shintani-san didn't leave a message.
You have no idea what he wanted to talk about?
None. Shono says he doesn't know a Shintani-san, and sees no reason why he would be
Let me hear
calling.
one of his amazing testimonies,
really?
and I'll see if he's telling the truth or not.
Shono and I co-authored the research paper on AD9. We're quite well known, as it turns out. Sometimes complete strangers pretend to be close friends or relatives in order to contact us. Perhaps Shintani-san fell into that category.
Have you heard of the mole murders taking place in Kamurocho, Dr. Kido? 3 Yakuza, each one with their eyes gouged out. It's a grisly business. Shintani was killed in the same way.
I've seen the news.
Can you think of anything tying the ADDC to those murders?
Huh? Look, just what are you implying? Look, I believe we're done here. There's nothing I can help you with.
You're very defensive.
Please stop! You can't!
Who are you?
Detective Kuroiwa, Kamuro Police, Organized Crime.
I don't trust this guy.
One of your guests here has information related to the case I'm currently investigating. That would be you, Yagami.
Hmm?
I'd like to speak to you as a material witness to the murder of the lawyer Masamichi Shintani.
Yeah, you're trying to
Is that
pin this
so?
murder stuff on me. It's very suspicious. What's the matter? You like my eyes? You show up out of the blue, getting introduced to me, and are already gunning for my throat.
The mole's latest victim was the lawyer, Shintani. The last call he made brings the case that ruined Yagami 3 years ago back to the surface. A patient was taken from a hospital and found buried in the mountains. Yagami defended the suspect, Shinpei Okubo, and got an acquittal. But 1 month later, he murdered his girlfriend Emi Terasawa with a kitchen knife and burned the remains.
Chapter 6. Collusion, I think. Right? I'm learning. I'm slowly getting past the first grade reading level.
I'd like to speak to you as a material witness to the murder of the lawyer Masamichi Shintani.
Is that so?
I'm Hoshino, an attorney at Genda Law Office. Officer, is this interview voluntary, or...
It is.
It's your call, Yagami-san.
I think I'll pass.
Excuse me?
You have your answer, sir. You can go now.
You can make this easier if you come now. Next time, it won't be voluntary.
Your empty threats don't mean much to a lawyer.
Can you take this
This
elsewhere?
kid's gonna die.
I really must be...
Too bad he's not a lawyer anymore, then. Your friend's nothing now. Just come along quietly. I'll come back with a warrant if I have to.
I'd like to see you try. Why do you suspect me anyway? I bet you don't even have a reason.
I can come up with a few good ones.
Enough. Get the hell out of my office.
You gotta stop being so stingy, you bastard.
You'll regret this, Yagami.
And you're on the, you're on the top of my fucking suspect list. No reason for you to be gunning at my throat suddenly.
You two, out.
Before we go, can we speak to Shonosan for a sec? We need to know why Shintani called him.
Listen, I already told you he doesn't know. Get it through your skull.
I'll kick you in the skull.
Now, please leave.
No problem. We'll let you get back to work.
This is really getting out of hand, don't you think? I can't believe that detective thinks you're a material witness.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But what I'm more interested in is how he even knew where to find me.
That's a good point. How would the police know we were here?
Beats me. For now,
exactly.
Let's focus on Shono, though. It would be a waste coming here and not talking to him.
Agreed. Let's see if the receptionist can help
Oh
us.
yeah, let's get another receptionist involved or something. Another lady, a nurse. Some kind.
Can I help you?
Actually, I've already been here. I was just with Director Kido, remember?
Oh, of course. Did you forget something, sir?
Well, not exactly. I'd actually like to speak to Shono-san, the 89 researcher. Where would I be able to find him?
Let me see. That should be the research wing. I believe he's in the protein abnormalities lab.
Probably need a gold keycard to get in there, huh?
That's correct, sir. I should be able to lend you one with the director's approval, though. Just give me a moment to ask. Could you tell me your name, sir?
Actually, never mind. Kido-san seemed pretty busy earlier. I'll try back later.
Are you sure, sir?
Good call. There's no chance Kido-san would let us in.
At least now we know where Shono is.
The research wing.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a map around here somewhere.
Oh, God. Yeah. Probably right when you enter the building.
Suspicious. Hey. The service entrance parking lot. All the delivery people come in and out through here. This is where Okubo's truck was parked 3 years ago.
Ah, good times. Back when there was that really cool lady that was so
Director Kido's office. We were just in
strong. We're here. When you're here, you're family.
This leads to the research wing.
The receptionist said he would be in the protein
don't know.
abnormalities lab, right? Huh. Well, I guess that's not on this map.
Hey. What the? This goes over to the hospital. I think Waku-san was up on the 4th floor. Hey, this is where we are now, the ADDC lobby. What the? Some kind of security gate, huh? The research wing must be just past there.
Got everything I needed.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am?
This is one of Shono-san's researchers. She was just about to return to the lab.
Oh?
My name's Hashimoto.
Hi, you want a
I can show you
date?
into Dr. Shono's lab if you'd like.
Kid, you
Are
need
you
to get
sure?
the hell out of here.
Of course.
Great. We'll take you up on that.
Wonderful. Hashimoto-san just happened to be passing through.
Thank you.
You're the mole.
Right this way.
God damn it, Yagami. Stop pointing fingers at everybody.
I really appreciate this, Hashimoto-san. I'm Yagami.
And I'm Hoshino, from the Genda Law Office. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, don't mention it. I'm glad to help a guest of Director Kido's. This place is so massive, you practically need a tour guide to get around. I hope you're okay with walking.
Oh, that's totally okay.
I fucking hate it. I don't want to walk. Give me a chair. Like, man, you're so aggressive today.
So, Hashimoto-san, what kind of work do you yourself do here?
I'm part of the team developing 89. Dr. Shono is the head of that team, but I'm pretty new around here.
That's why you're doing this.
Speaking of, what exactly does AD9 stand for?
Well, the AD comes from the name of the center. The Advanced Drug Development Center, ADDC. And it's the 9th drug our department's developed.
Oh, that was surprisingly easy.
I think you're allowed to just take me along, but... Is there an ice pick with, for my eyes waiting on the other end? Just put yourself eyes in these retinal scanner.
On the market, right? Seems like it's really getting fast-tracked because of that. But there's a lot riding on this one, right? It could finally cure Alzheimer's disease.
That's right. Do you know how many dementia patients there are in Japan alone?
A couple 100,000 at least. Maybe even in the millions?
Right. As of 2012, there were 4.62 million.
That many?
By 2025, that number will increase to at least 7 million.
What year is it?
Potentially up to 13 million,
Is
including
it 2013 in this?
That's
I
one in
forget what
every
year
9
it
people.
is.
Yikes.
However, as a nation, we're already at capacity in caring for these patients. In many cases, people over 60 are stuck looking after their dementia-struck parents in their own homes. Worldwide, it's estimated there will be 135 million patients by the year 2050. It's staggering. In other words, AD9 could save the world. This could be a real miracle.
Or I could ruin it for you.
I gotta say, this is making me feel kind of bad about how we treated Kido-san back there.
Director Kido will go down in history if we achieve this.
A lot's changed in 3 years. The bastard's really made a name for himself.
Be nice.
Be nice. Come on. Have a friendly bone in that body. I feel like we dress for the occasion.
Dr. Shono is right over there. Well, if you'll excuse me.
He's gonna look to his right and be like, what the fuck? Call security. Dear God. Quickly just text my girlfriend. The hell is the DLC? It says DLC available. There's DLC for this game? Why does it look like just a bunch of ladies? Hey man, I don't really...
Yagami-san? But, how did you get in here?
Hey, calm down. I just want to talk.
I can't do that. Kido-san doesn't know you're here, does he?
Is there a problem?
Ichinose-san.
I've never heard you raise your voice, Shono-san.
Aren't you the guy from the lobby?
Yeah.
My name is Ichinose. I'm here from the Ministry of Health, offering political support to AD9's development.
Kido-san called you Vice Minister.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Pretty lofty for a Vice Minister. You can boss scientists around, but I'm not biting.
So I see.
Shono-san, please. I just need a few minutes to talk. We'll leave right after we're done, promise.
I already told you, I can't. Not without Kido-san here.
I need you to tell me, why did Shintani call you?
Shintani? I've never heard that name in my life.
This is important, Shono. You have to have some idea.
Please, I don't. Now get out of here. I'm calling Director Kido.
Do what you want. Just let me ask you one thing first.
You just asked you one thing. I'm gonna phone a friend. What should I ask? I'm assuming about the murders would be, but I don't know. What would we ask? What would be the more important question here to be asking him? Like, yeah, there's a lot of money riding on the thing. He's clearly scared. Everybody's afraid of this director, but probably more so for their jobs. I would assume, if anything, the murders in Kamurocho, but I would think maybe he would have seen them. I don't know which to ask. Left, up, or right? Do I want to ask him? Not scared he wants to have the director there. Ask him about the murders.
After Shintani was murdered, the killer gouged out both of his eyes. 3 other near-identical murders have taken place in Kamurocho recently. Are you aware of that, Shono-san?
Well, of course I am.
Yeah, I was figuring
it's all over the news.
And you still have no idea why Shintani called you? Nothing at all?
No, I don't. Now please let me get back to work.
What the? What are you doing here?
Kido-san.
I believe I told you to leave. What about that didn't you understand?
I'll fight all of you.
I wanted to ask about Shintani's call.
About which I already said Shono doesn't know anything.
And I needed to hear that from him, not you.
Enough. Call security.
We were just leaving.
I get to the door and I can't leave because I need a card.
I'll be filing a complaint with the Bar Association under the Minister's name.
The Minister of Health?
That's right. Minister Kazami expects great things from AD9, and he won't tolerate distractions from your ilk.
Man, we've met so many nice people in the span of the last, like, hour or two.
I feel like we came up empty-handed. Why would Shintani-sensei have called Shono-san? Yagami-san?
That wasn't the first time I've heard about Minister Kazami.
Huh?
When was it, though? Who was talking to me about the Ministry of Health?
Oh, crap. Fuck, I do remember, but I don't remember which, because it's like, we talked to all these people. It might be Ayabe, because we get all that information from him. Fuck. Crap. Who would be talking about the Administrator of Health? Ayabe could have said something about it, I feel like. I don't think we've talked to what's-her-face or whatever, the top one, in a while about anything. Kenta-sensei, I don't think would have mentioned it.
It must have been Ayabe, when we were drinking over at Tender. I definitely remember him mentioning Minister Kazami.
Okay, you're the smart one
here.
You
were talking about how the Kyorei clan
you have the better memory.
Apparently, they're being used as muscle for a construction company called the Kajihira Group. A while back, Chairman Kajihira himself was going around, laying the political groundwork for a Tokyo revamp project. And one of the people he met with was Naohisa Kazami from the Ministry of Health.
Huh.
You'd think he'd
I
go
like
to
the
the Ministry
director's
of
watching
Land,
us.
This project has nothing to do with health. What would he gain from meeting Kazami?
That's true. Do you think it has to do with our case somehow?
Mr. Kazami's name won't stop coming up. But is this just a coincidence or something more?
I don't know. Depends on what the two of them were talking about.
In that case, maybe our Kajihira expert can help us out with that.
Who?
Sugiura-san. He used to work for them, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Keep forgetting about it. Man, we've met so many nice people here. This has been a great adventure. Just, I'm already sick of looking at this place.
So you want to know how Kajihira and Kazami are connected?
Yeah. Any way you can find that out?
Not really sure, but I'll give it a shot.
Thanks.
You're still at the ADDC, yeah? Just give me some time. I'll call you if I find anything.
Fine, I feel like once I get back to town, everyone's going to want to kick my ass because, one, that's just how Kamurocho Place is, but also because that guy is going to be gunning for my neck as a witness and try to arrest me. Because why would someone who's trying to figure out the cases want me dead? Or at least want me in jail? Hmm? Very suspicious man in suit that I can't remember his name. Because I'm really fucking bad with names on some of these guys. He's on the top of my suspect list.
I'm gonna head back to the office. I just got an email from Saori-san. Apparently, a journalist named Hattori barged into the office. Says he wants to interview you.
Me?
It sounds like he's looking into Shintani-sensei's murder, too. Anyway, I'll go ahead and drive him off.
You'll be Genda-sensei's ace attorney before you know it.
Nah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Honestly.
Why?
Too much responsibility for a guy my age, you know? I think I make a much better sidekick for now.
Don't be around me, you'll
But when
die.
that gets old?
I don't know that it will. Being a professional sidekick for the rest of my life sounds okay to me. I'll see you later.
Oh, tax-free shop. I don't know what the hell I thought it said behind him. Guess I'll be on standby until he gets in touch with me. Any new friends in the area that I could make? You always go to the bar and see if I can... if there's a side case for me. Oh, never mind. I guess I won't do anything. Hello, I pushed a scooter. Excuse me, do you have a minute? What is it? Let me introduce myself. I am Shin Fujimori. Have you ever thought about investing, sir? Oh, boy.
Huh?
Honestly, I think you're better off talking about that sort of thing with someone who actually has money. Come on, man. You think I have money to invest? Come on, man. What the fuck? Well, I say investment, but nowadays anyone can do it as long as they have a smartphone. You can invest on your phone? Of course. Just ever heard of crowdfunding? It's where you gather online donations from all over the world. Becoming a big trend in the past few years. See, DK, I told you I have no money. I don't have 1,000,000 yen. Wow. And to streamline this process, we developed an app called Quickstarter. You can invest however much money you want and whoever you wish, wherever you like, all for the comfort of your phone. Well, it sounds easy enough, but the hard part, is actually having money. Indeed, that's why a million people make micro-investments with Quickstarter, only a small donation. And even small donations make a big difference. They all add up to help a campaign reach various milestones. Once it meets its goal, everyone who invests gains priority benefits. Can you give me an example? Sorry, so you can get special products shipped to you, or you'll gain access to a brand new facilities. That does sound pretty neat, doesn't it? I'll tell you this much. I once started a company on my own, but I had a hard time raising the necessary funds. You wouldn't know it. I got everything I needed from a crowdfunding platform I signed up overseas. Signed with overseas. That's why I created this app to help other entrepreneurs worldwide. You're the president of the company? Oh, it's quite small. It's not really a big deal. Anyway, the point is, please try using Quickstarter for yourself sometime. If I use it, will that boost your friendship? I'll at least install it for the time being. But I don't have any money. Wait. Probably almost do all of these. Some of them, at least. Not all. Here, I'll invest. Would you like to donate this much? Yeah, I'm in. I won't give them all that much, but I thought I'd help. Yeah, I know all about the QR codes. I don't even fucking need that shit. Look, I'm helping. I'm throwing some of my investments around. You don't say I don't do anything. There, that's all I got. I helped. Oh, there's a new friend. Oh boy, what happened? Hello there, nice weather today. Ah, perfect timing, Why, what's going on? I managed to lose the keys to the building roller shutter, and now I can't get inside. Seriously, that's unfortunate. It is, I'm not really sure what to do. Well, you'd have to get it open somehow. It doesn't take a detective to figure that out. Now, will you help me get this lock open? I'm sure you could do it. It'll be just like a crime drama. All you need is a knife and a roll of duct tape. It's actually that simple. And what show are you referencing anyway? Doesn't matter now. Can you at least try something? Well, I suppose. I wish you could be so demanding. Better get this open and quick. Sorry, lady. I don't have any rent this time. I spent it all on crowdfunding. All right, it's open. I knew you could do it. Thanks a bunch. Sure, no problem. Well, then, I'll be off now. Are you forgetting something, cough, cough? Like something along the lines of 3 months' rent? You know, one thing would you mind waiting a little longer? Good grief, I'm not running a youth house. You buildings actually cost money to maintain. Amazing, I know. Actually, that gives me an idea. Should I be afraid to ask? You're an able-bodied young man. You seem to be good at opening locks. Why don't I introduce you to a locksmith I know? What for? I was thinking you could take a part-time job over there, you know, to earn some extra money. Like the kind you owe me. Do I have to? Sure do. In fact, I'm calling him right now. Gotta strike while the iron's hot. Hey, hold the phone. Sorry to be a sudden call. You see, there's this tenant who lives in my building. He's actually a dick. What a pleasure to see you. Is he the one you told me about? Yep, here's Yakumi. Who's that? Tomioka-san? You're looking at Chishiro, one of the finest locksmiths in Kamurocho, but I just call him Uezuka-kun. Like, fuck if I know how to pronounce anybody's name. Good to meet you. The pleasure's all mine. Work hard and earn your keep. And regarding the details of our arrangement, just ask him. Hope he doesn't work you to the bone. Thanks so much, lady. Seriously, I am a failure when it comes to paying rent. Yes, I just see why. I guess that's why this happened. Mind if I start explaining how things work around here? Not at all. Whenever you get a job request, I'll pass it on to you. Then you'll head over to the client's place and open the lock in question. That's all there is to it. You can open locks, right? Yeah, good. I'm in my shop most hours. Come by when you're ready to get to work. Where's the shop? On the north side of that avenue. Just look it up on the map. All right. Shouldn't be too bad, I guess. Out over there the moment I'm free. I'm working as a locksmith now. That's a thing. Guess I'll head over there whenever I have some time. Camera was wild. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. The jobs. A final event. Good day. It's Cloudy Skies Publishing. Thank you the other day. Actually, I have another request for you. We're waiting at the cafe. I'll take it. Not gonna. I don't know if I'll do it right away, but I'll take it. Oh, I lost the key to the lockbox that I stole. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, and another unknown case over there. Some things to do to kill time.